From playground disagreements to group project drama, kids are navigating new social dynamics that can quickly spiral into stress, anxiety, or even bullying at school. Conflict resolution expert Damali Peterman is here with tips and tools to kind of manage conflict constructively. And we have a little this just in moment. It's a little toasty in here because this book is hot off the presses yesterday. It's so great to have it here with us. But we're going to talk about, conflict resolution. What can we give our children, and where can parents get from here?
Well, it's so important to give our kids the skill of conflict resolution. We're always focused on grades and homework and test prep, but conflict resolution is something that can really set a child up for success.
Yeah.
Just think about it, like a kid who knows how to handle disagreements, knows how to calm down and redirect, is going to have a better school day.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. And to learn that so young.
Yes.
And just have it through the rest of your life is going to be great. So what's the best way to kind of tackle this?
So I came up with a framework called GRADE because grade is something that we all know about, we all love.
Yeah.
And so just diving into the G, it's really giving everyone a chance to speak. So I tell parents to tell their kids, and I'm a parent too, I should say,
to
tell their kids.
Always good.
Give them, so your kids, just after someone else speaks, give that person sort of 3 seconds. So count in your head for 3 seconds before you start talking.
Okay.
One, you won't interrupt.
Yeah.
You give them a chance to finish speaking, and then basically you're showing respect, and they'll give you a chance to figure out what you're going to say next. So you're not just reacting, but you're responding thoughtfully.
Yeah, I love that. And you just brought up reacting, but that's not the R in GRADE, right?
No, the R is to respect different views.
Oh, okay,
so before you dive in, before kids dive in and start saying what they think, I want them to just repeat back what they heard the person say. So something really quick. So you said soccer and I said basketball. What that does is it shows the other person that you're listening to them. It gives the situation a chance to kind of defuse. And then you listen, you take in some information, and you always will respond better when you listen first. And if you find, I tell people, if you find that you're talking a lot, then you should wait and go at the end. Kind of challenge yourself to talk last. And I promise you, they'll have a better response once they've listened first.
Yeah, and listening first is always that great first step. And then second, you do have to respond. We have to go about asking things, right?
You do have to ask things. So that's that A, ask before assuming. So it's really important to not fill in the blanks. This happens all the time. Like, oh, I know what the person's going to say, so I'm just going to fill in the blanks. Well, I want people to ask. So tell me more about, or to say, can you explain what happened? This way, you're giving yourself a chance to, one, learn more from the other person's perspective, and you're not kind of jumping into those unhidden biases that we have, right? And so that's a more fair way to kind of get information. Yeah,
and we've had that back and forth exchange where, listening, internalizing, and then kind of figuring out exactly where somebody's coming from. But then, of course, we have to discuss all of it, right?
You have to discuss solutions, right? And so instead of thinking about what won't work, I want kids to brainstorm what could work. So come up with at least 2 options, right?
And that's a much more positive way, though. Yes. I love that.
And when you do that, then people are more likely to follow a plan that they had some buy-in on, right?
Oh, yeah.
That collaboration, that plan is more likely to last.
Yeah, and then, it's beneficial for everybody. But, of course, you can't walk away with a disagreement. You have to have a positive solution to this, right?
It's so true. So I tell people, the E is end with understanding or agreement, right? So everyone wants that agreement, like we resolved it. And if you resolve it, that's fantastic. But if you don't, that's okay. Maybe you have a better understanding of how you got there. So you resolve it, handshake, high five, or say deal. If you don't resolve it, see what you learned from the communication, from the conversation, from just the discourse in general, and what can you take into the next disagreement.
I love that. Perfect. And that's great right there, and how kids can, be successful in school. Of course, as a parent, if you want a little help, you can hang out and check this out, Be Who You Are to Get What You Want. Of course, Damali Peterman, the author, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Abby.
It's always good getting us ready for school or set up for success.